All right, guys, welcome back to Yost Built, and today is the day. It's the day I've been waiting to show you guys for a while. I've made my decisions and changed a couple of things a couple of times, but we'll just get right into the video. So, if this is your first time watching the channel, this is my 1991 Dodge Spirit RT. So this thing originally comes with a 2.2 liter dual overhead cam with a 5.68 transmission. It makes around 224 horsepower in factory form. And this is my patina rendition of that, just a much more modern take on it. And if you guys have been following the channel, you guys will help know that I did a SRT4 swap with a AGP 261, which is a 6161. And I made 530 wheel horsepower on 26 pounds of boost, took it to the track, and on my second pass out, I melted the pistons. So it's been like 2 or 3 weeks now since I've actually touched the car. We just got the heat in the garage fixed, and we live in central Pennsylvania, so it has been in the 20s almost every day, and then during the afternoon it only gets up to about the 40s. So the weather is horrendous, and if you don't have heat in your garage, you are going to freeze. I actually was sick for about a week because I was down here one night working for a couple hours, no heat, and it was like 38 degrees in the garage. So don't recommend that. Get some heat. Don't get sick, especially during this time. So you see over here, we have a cylinder head. We have another cylinder head. We have another cylinder head. We have a set of cams. We have all kinds of stuff scattered everywhere. That is actually the cylinder head that made 530 horsepower. That is the original cylinder head off of Trailer Park. And that is a spare one we have over there. If you look in the engine bay, you will see the car is back together. The car runs, surprisingly. Not really surprisingly, I knew it would run. But the car is back together. It looks exactly the same as it did before. Nothing has changed on the outside. Everything has changed on the inside. So I made a post on Facebook probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks back saying, should I rebuild the built motor? The block's actually right there under that towel. Or should I do a stock block and go after putting this thing in the 10-second range with a stock bottom end? Well, as you guys know, with the motor setting over there under the towel, this is now a stock SRT4 bottom end. It does have some Brian Crower Stage 2 drop-ins, which online it says you can run with the factory valve springs. So we're going to see how that works out. It also has a Mopar head gasket. It has a set of ARP head studs, and it has balance shaft elite with the fancy window tray that I took out of the built motor. Other than that, this thing is 100% stock. So no porting, no fancy nothing, literally stock valve springs and retainers, stock valves, stock ports, stock pistons, stock rods, stock block, stock bearings, stock rings, everything that it had before. So, like I said, we did a set of Brian Crower Stage 2 drop-ins because I actually had them laying around. I just had to find them because I have about 8 sets of SRT4 cams, and I actually lost where I had stuck them because I had pulled them apart. This motor right here is actually the motor we built for our Caravan. So if you go way back on the channel, we had a Caravan like Boost and Bad Habits has, and we tried to turbo it. The turbo hit the firewall. We had a bunch of issues. It never ran right. We got some software to tune it. That never worked right. So we just put nitrous on it. I think it ran like 26 seconds on motor or something like that. And I think we got it down into like the 16s with nitrous, and we sprayed the crap out of it. Well, this is the motor we actually put together for the turbo minivan. So we were going to stick an SRT4 short block in it with an SRT4 head with head studs and a BWS turbo, and we were going to send that thing to the moon. Well, as you've seen on the Boost and Bad Habits channel, he's went like low 13s, He actually has the next generation Caravan after the one we had. His Caravan, I think, is another 200 or 300 pounds heavier. So we could have went probably high 12s. As you guys know, I currently hold the Spirit Acclaim record for the fastest one at 1130 at 125. And that was with a 100% stock PTGT motor. So the PTGT motor, SRT4 motor, is exactly the same thing. The only difference is from the factory, they have a different intake manifold. And other than that, you can use all the parts off of this. So I get a lot of questions about the mounts. I get a lot of questions about the transmission. And then I get a lot of questions about the intake, because you can see the intake has an old school style throttle body on it. This does not look like an SRT4 throttle body. That is actually an 89 Caravan throttle body. We took an SRT4 manifold, we chopped the edge of it off right there. And where you have the turn down with your SRT4, we chopped that off. We put a little flat flange and we put a 2 bolts in it to make a Caravan throttle body fit. It does have a set of 1550 cc snake eaters. It does use Audi R8 coils. We get a lot of questions on the Audi coils. Why did we go coil and plug? Are we still using batch fire? Yada, yada, yada. We went with the coils because the spark output. So like an LS coil or any of those fancy coils you can buy, these Denso Audi coils are superior in many ways. These things, I think my dead times are turned way down. So I'm not even using like the coil as much as I can. And I can run, I was running 28 gap on spark plugs at almost 30 pounds of boost. And I never had spark blowout. So throttle body off a Caravan, SRT4 manifold chopped up using a 3-bar map sensor from a SRT4, which is off of, I believe, a Caliber. You use Jackson's mounts. You can see right here, it says JRS. You go on the Turbo Dodge forum or you go on the Shelby forum, you can contact him. He makes mounts to SRT4 swap a Spirit. And the transmission is PAP built 568. It has a OBX LSD. It has all new shift forks with bronze pads. The breather setup is something I made. Intercooler piping I made. The turbo itself is a AGP 261. It is a 6161. It makes wonderful power. It comes on quickly, and I have absolutely no issues with it. The wastegate is a Precision 46 millimeter, I believe. It's like their 44 mil. They say it's 46, but it's not. It's the same as all the 44 mils. I think the bottom is just a little bit bigger, and we're on like 14 pounds of boost currently. It has a full 3-inch exhaust with 1 muffler, and it dumps right under the driver's side back door. This car has a 525 Hellcat pump in it. This car has a full AN8 feed with an AN6 return. It uses a GM flex fuel sensor. It does E85 all the time. This car never runs on pump gas, and it uses a micro squirt ECU, which is down there in the corner. So you need your voltage regulator and everything like that. It does use a Treadstone log manifold, and it uses a Treadstone intercooler. I like them. They flow good. They're cheap. They get their job done. The radiator is from a 2nd gen Neon. Works phenomenal. This thing, it hits 200 degrees. The fan comes on, and it drops to about 160, 170 rather quickly. So now that I've went over everything that's done to it, let me start it up for you guys. So if you guys have never seen the inside of the car before, the back of the car is gutted. There's no carpet in the car, so there's no rear interior. You have all your door panels, you have your whole dash and everything. So we have a switch panel down here, which activates the ECU and the fuel pump. And then we have a switch up, the factory ignition switch activates the digital dash. So you hear it start up. The digital dash comes on. This is using Raspberry Pi straight off the micro squirt. And then I have a keyboard right here that I can actually tune it as I drive. So I have no issues with like needing my laptop or anything to plug it in, I can actually tune right on the dash, right off the keyboard, which is a really cool feature. Stephen Morris is the one that designed all this, and this was all in Trailer Park, which was the first version of the Spirit I had, which I actually got from Stephen, and that's the car we went 1130s with. But there's the dash. The speedo always says 32 miles an hour until you start moving. It is GPS based. It's right there on the dash, so we don't really go off of that. But you can see we have 14 volts, 13 something air fuels. The tune, I haven't adjusted the tune at all from the old motor to this motor. 150 degrees. She sounds good. She runs good. And just like that, we do have an exhaust leak. I gotta fix the flex pipe. I broke it when I was on the dyno the first time, and I still haven't fixed it. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the update. If you haven't subscribed to Yost Built, please subscribe below. Well, I'm trying to hit 10,000 as soon as possible, get those views up, and I wanted to get this car back together because if you guys haven't watched the channel before, I have a couple case swaps that I need to get to work on. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. As always, you guys are the greatest, and give this video a thumbs up for Running Spirit.